lacking some energy right now. My name is Kit Harington and I'm Wolverine.
Sure. A Marvel video.
A lot of things have been unfolding in the internet. A lot of news, a lot of possibilities that is happening. The Fox and Disney deal is about to come to a close. I'm more excited than ever. Avengers is coming to a theater near you soon.
We got a new Super Bowl spot for Captain Marvel and Endgame. Things are starting to come together now. And shout out to DC, man, with your Robert Pattinson Batman.
Just when you thought that DC could be turning things around with Wonder Woman doing a really good job in the theaters, box office, Aquaman, amazing job there.
Aquaman passing $1 billion.
Hey, let's go look for the next Batman and cast Robert Pattinson.
Oh, the sparkly vampire.
I love you, buddy. I can't do the guy.
I mean, look, Shazam is looking like a fun movie. I don't know how good of a movie it's going to be, but we have confirmed cameos that Superman and Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson, is going to be making an appearance.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so on the Marvel side of things, we're moving into Phase 4.
They can only do things right.
We have confirmation, at least from Lauren Schuler Donner, that Dark Phoenix and New Mutants will be the last movies out of the Fox universe, and that means Kevin Feige is going to take over X-Men and all of those characters that transition over from Fox. And so we're going to do a theory-esque video where we kind of predict how this universe comes together, how the X-Men is introduced to the MCU.
Oh, I bet you all of you know what's gonna happen, or you have your own theories. Leave us comments in the section below.
Yeah, so let's start off with my predictions.
What's your prediction?
Let me break this down really simply,
Wolverine comes out of the ashes.
Concise. Yeah, okay. So, first of all, the Avengers defeat Thanos, right?
Okay.
So, Captain Marvel comes back. They all band together somehow, and then they defeat Thanos. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but they defeat Thanos, and they revert the timeline. And what happens is there's consequences to reverting that timeline, and people start showing abilities, and the mutant race and the X gene starts to get discovered, and so they investigate Scarlet Witch because she's kind of one of those the beginnings of a manufactured, like, meta-human-esque thing from the first Avengers, and or from Avengers to Ultron, and they find out that her powers were always there. And it was the X gene, and that it was the mind gem that awakened that, and so the mutant race is finally introduced to canon, into MCU. So we move on to Spider-Man Far From Home. We have the stuff with Mysterio. People are, guessing, is he a mutant? What is he? Is he like another Thor? Is he another,
God?
Some kind of being with powers, but he's positioning himself as a hero to kind of, escape from the stigma that comes from being a mutant and being against the humans, and that's where I see that going. And the end credits for Far From Home, you see a bald man sitting in a chair. He's watching the news on Mysterio, and he's like, this is going to be a problem.
Charles.
And that's the end credit scene. Obviously, people already know that's going to be Professor X. We move on to Black Panther 2. Aurora Monroe gets introduced to T'Challa. They have the whole movie to kind of get to know each other, and this is where Storm is officially introduced into the MCU. And then the end credit scene of that is Storm going to America to find her place, because obviously she has no room in Wakanda as a mutant, and she's probably being persecuted in Wakanda as well. And so the end credit scene is her going to America and Wolverine in a bar, smoking a cigar, drinking a beer, and then Professor X coming in like Nick Fury from Iron Man 1. And he's like, I'm building a team. I would like you to join. And he's like, fuck off. And then that's it. And then we go on to the announcement after Black Panther 2 of the Uncanny X-Men. And we'll get to see Cyclops, Jean, Beast, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine We'll probably use some kind of other villain from their rogues gallery at some point, because I don't want to introduce Magneto at this point. I want Magneto to be a catalyst for the Avengers versus X-Men. And so that's later on down the line. But that's my basic introduction of the X-Men into the MCU. We're going to start with Spider-Man, Black Panther 2, get Storm in there a little bit.
That's interesting.
Pepper in some mutants in there. But yeah, the basic premise, mutants start to sprout up from reverting the timeline, and that's the consequence.
I don't like it.
That's the consequence of messing with the quantum reality.
No, that's pretty cool. That could be a possibility. It actually happens that way. I wouldn't mind if it did happen that way. You know, you just have to kind of introduce them slowly, right? And then you kind of pepper them into the remaining movies in Phase 4.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the mutants are around, and then you can finally get them their own solo movies.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I can see that happening. I don't want it to happen that way, though. I do not want it to happen that way. As soon as this deal is 100% slammed, stamped, finished, approved, official, I just want them to just bust out with a bunch of movies. All right, you want to hear mine?
Sure.
Let's hear mine. Mine is gonna be way more exciting because I don't want to wait for all that stuff. Like, it's just all the setup is just boring. Like, everybody knows the X-Men already. Everybody is clamoring for the X-Men. The Wolverine, the Gambit, the Psylocke, the Rogue, the Cyclops, Charles.
You're going down the DC path, man.
No, I don't need to go down the DC path.
Everybody knows Batman. Everybody knows Superman. Everybody knows the Justice League.
Yeah, but I have faith. I have faith in Kevin Feige to do it right.
No, but okay, see, that's this is where you're going down the wrong path, because everyone knows the DC heroes, but they gave him Justice League, and no one had their just desserts. No one had time to character build, right?
Okay, well, I don't go that deep into how it's gonna roll out like you do. I just want to make sure that it happens in Avengers Endgame. Okay, so here's my and I'm still sticking to it. It doesn't matter if it's too soon, just a little hint of the mutants, and that's all I really need. However they roll out in the future after Endgame, I'm perfectly fine with how they do it. But, check this out. Okay, Thanos is winning. He's winning. He's beating Captain Marvel, he's beating the remaining Avengers, and lo and behold, something happens. Everybody's minds start to click. They get into this like time warp, like brain dump of like memories that's never existed before, because Xavier undid what he did during, like, leading up to the Sokovia events, the Sokovia tragedies and all that stuff. He undoes Cerebro's mind trick that the mutants have always existed. And just about when you think Thanos is about to prevail again, boom! Xavier comes in and hijacks his mind just enough time for Captain Marvel and the rest of the Avengers to do enough damage, save the day. And man, I want one of the X-Men to just come out and help defeat Thanos. Just one of them. I know it's not gonna happen. This is wishful thinking. This is just my ultimate dream.
Definitely wishful thinking.
Whoosh! Zac Efron! Oh, Wolverine!
Oh my god.
Ah, Berserker mode! Ah!
Is he gonna rewrite the stars?
I don't know. But that's just like, it doesn't have to be Zac. Who cares? I just want, it could be Gambit, it could be Beast, it could be Cyclops, whoever it is. Or it could just be Xavier. You know, just plant the seed there. Xavier exists, the mutants exist, go to end credits. He goes into the X Mansion with Fury and Iron Man, Tony Stark. They're walking around, they see these suits, these X-Men suits, and in the dark it's Wolverine smoking a cigar. You see it lit up, you see the claws come out, and boom, that's it. You don't even know who it is. You don't even know if it's Zac Efron or Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is way too old to play Wolverine. Anyways, I'm gonna go on a tangent here.
No,
Kit
don't.
Harington.
Don't.
John Bernthal.
This is why you're going down a wishful thinking rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, this is just
because New Mutants.
I'm gonna get hyped for it. It's gonna be so hyped.
Because listen, New Mutants is supposed to come out after Endgame, and that's the last movie that's from Fox.
That is also true.
And so that means the deal hasn't been done until New Mutants comes out. You're not gonna get the Endgame stuff. That's why in the Endgame, there's only a hint of the human race in the end credits, right? But you know that is wishful thinking. I mean,
I can only dream.
oh, I can debunk one of your things like right now. There's absolutely no way Professor X could do that on the scale you're talking about, even with Cerebro, if the Mind Gem can't do that. It's just it's one of those stones.
Just a
man.
few writings. You could just write it in.
Just
Professor, it out, write it in.
Professor X. So they're going to classify Omega level mutants as powerful as the Infinity Gems. Nah, that's not gonna work.
I don't know the details. I don't know the full details of all that stuff. I just want to see the X-Men on screen, a new version of the X-Men on screen. I'm not even interested in New Mutants. Like, screw that movie. It's gonna come out straight onto Hulu on streaming. It's not even gonna come out in theaters.
Yeah, but the fact still remains, man. The Fox universe is going to exist until that movie releases, and that part of that chapter of the whole thing is closed, and that's when Kevin Feige takes over.
I ask you, to what end? Dread it? Run from it? Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
I don't want your future!
Past my future. Look for your future. All those voices. So much pain.
It's not that pain you're afraid of. It's yours, Charles. And as frightening as it may be, that pain will make you strong.
There was some kind of tremor, like an energy surge. I picked it up on one of my meters. Charles, get out. Charles?
I've never felt like this before.
It's the greatest gift we have, to bear their pain without breaking. And it's born from the most human power. Hope.
Guys, what do you think? What did you think about Element's theory of how the X-Men
That's my phase
rolls
4.
out?
I gave you a phase 4.
I gave you a phase 3.4. 3.5.
You're on 4 already.
Or just, are you excited like me? Come on, you have to be excited like me. Leave your comments in the section below. Thanks for joining us.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.